Okay, let's dive in. Ever walk into a store, maybe a coffee shop or like a small boutique, and just look at the counter? Sometimes it's just, wow, that's a lot of stuff crammed in there. You got the cash register and then a separate card machine, maybe a tablet for orders, wires everywhere. What if you could, tidy all that up, merge it?
Yeah, it's a really common sight. And that's exactly where this technology, Softpay, comes into the picture. It's all about streamlining. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a quick guide from QUORiON Data Systems GmbH. It's about their Softpay App-Switch interface. It's a neat example of how POS, point-of-sale tech, is changing.
Right. So our mission for you today is simple. Figure out what Softpay actually does, highlight the cool features and the real benefits, the FABs, features, advantages, benefits, and then crucially walk you through how to actually get it set up, which looks surprisingly dual, like a plan for a cleaner checkout. So, okay, bottom line first. What is Softpay really doing for a business that's already using QUORiON POS systems? What's the core idea?
Well, at its heart, Softpay basically transforms your QUORiON POS device itself into a payment terminal. We're talking specifically about their QTouch 6 and the QTouch 6 Quarter models. They need to be running the QMP 2.0 software. That's QUORiON's main program. So instead of needing that separate little card reader box, the EFT terminal.
Yeah, the separate thing you tap or insert your card into.
Exactly. Your main QTouch device becomes that terminal. It can handle contactless payments directly.
Okay, now that sounds interesting. And I bet for a business owner, that's the bit that makes them sit up. The source document actually says, word for word, there is no additional EFT hardware required anymore.
That's huge, isn't it? More than just saving a bit of cash on hardware.
Oh, absolutely. It's way more than just the cost saving, though. That's nice, too, of course.
Yeah.
The clever part is what they call the App-Switch mechanism. Think about it like this. You got your main POS app, QMP, doing the sales stuff, and the Softpay app doing the payment bit, right?
But they're both running on the same QTouch device. So when you hit the Pay by Card button in QMP, it just instantly flicks the amount over to the Softpay app. Softpay does its thing, processes the tap, the chip, whatever gets the okay, and pings confirmation straight back to QMP.
So it's all happening inside the one machine.
Precisely. It happens super fast, milliseconds. QMP then finalizes the sale, prints the receipt. It's seamless. For the customer, it just feels quicker, smoother, less juggling of devices by the staff. And for the staff, well, it's one less thing to learn, one less thing to go wrong, Fewer cables, fewer connection worries.
Makes sense.
And it works on their standard QTouch POS systems and their Quarter mobile system, too. So you could use it for tableside payments or maybe at like a pop-up event. Very versatile.
So if you're managing a business, what this boils down to is, yes, you save space and hardware costs. But maybe more importantly, you get a slicker checkout, looks more professional, and it's just easier for everyone involved, your team and your customers.
Yeah.
It's about that whole interaction.
Okay, so we get the what and the why. It's basically turning your existing QUORiON terminal into the card machine, too. Very neat. Now, the how. Getting new tech set up can feel a bit daunting sometimes, but this guide seems to lay it up pretty clearly. It starts with the foundation, right? The network.
That's exactly right. Before you touch any software settings, you need a solid internet connection. Stable. Doesn't matter if it's wired LAN or Wi-Fi, Softpay needs that connection to talk to the payment processors. The guide strongly suggests giving your POS device a fixed IP address.
Like a permanent home address on the network? Yeah, precisely. It just makes things more reliable, less likely to drop connection unexpectedly. One important note, though, the guide doesn't go into how to set up your router for that fixed IP. That's network stuff. So if you're not sure about that part, you'd need to chat with your IT person or network specialist.
Gotcha. Makes sense to keep the guys focused. Okay, fixed IP for reliability. Now, configuring the actual POS system, the QMP settings, this isn't done on the touch screen itself, is it?
No, that's a key point. You have to use the QUORiON Software Configurator QSC, which runs on a separate PC. Think of QSC as your command center for setting up how the POS behaves.
Right, the central control panel.
Exactly. The basic process in QSC is pretty logical. You fire up the QSC program, then you need to load your current POS configuration. You can either open a saved file or pull it directly from the QTouch system over the network. Once it's loaded, you make the specific changes needed for Softpay, which we'll get into. Then you save this modified configuration. And the final step is sending it back to the POS system. Pretty structured.
Okay, let's get into those specifics then. Inside QSC, first stop, payment types, or tenders as they call them.
Yep. So in QSC, you navigate to Program Area 2 Functions and then find the subsection called Tenders. You'll see your list of payment methods there, cash, card, etc. You pick the card payment type you want to use with Softpay, click on that, go to its General Data tab. There's a drop-down list called EFT Terminal. You just select EFT Terminal 1 from that list. That tells the system, okay, when someone presses this card button, use EFT Terminal 1, which we're about to define as Softpay.
Ah, okay, so you're rerouting the existing card button. Clever. Next up is device configuration. You're telling the system about this new device, even though it's an app.
Exactly. You need to define Softpay as a device so the system knows how to talk to it. For this, you go to Program Area 7, Hardware Configuration, then the Device Configuration subsection. You click the little plus button to add a new device. Choose EFT Terminal as the type. Then, under the General Settings tab for this new device, pick Network Connection for the connection type. Give it a name, usually just EFT Terminal makes sense. And this is important. Keep the IPv4 domain as 127.0.0.1 and the port number as 9100.
127.0.1, that's the loopback address, right? Telling it to look on the same machine.
That's it, precisely. It's telling the QMP software to talk to the Softpay app running on the very same device. There's one more bit under Device Configuration. Click the EFT Settings tab. Here, from the EFT type list, you need to select DK Softpay NFC. Leave the response timer at the default 300. For username, you have to type in the exact text PROD. Needs to be just like that. And then the user password field. You leave that completely empty.
Okay, specific settings there. PROD is username blank password. Got it. And that DK presumably relates to the region or standard.
Likely, yes. It specifies the particular Softpay protocol variant. Those settings are crucial for the handshake between QMP and the Softpay app.
All right. So we've told the card button to use EFT1. We've defined EFT1 as the Softpay app using those specific network and EFT settings.
Yeah.
What's the final connection?
The very last step inside QSC is in Cash Register Settings, Program Area 8. You select your specific POS system from the list. You might have more than one. Go to its General Settings tab. You'll see a drop-down list there labeled EFT1. You just select the name you gave your Softpay device configuration, typically EFT Terminal. That's the final link, telling the specific cash register to use the Softpay configuration you just set up.
Okay, that ties it all together in the configuration software. And then, like you said, save everything in QSC and send it over to the QTouch. But there's still a step on the actual QTouch device itself, isn't there, for the Softpay app?
Yes. The final piece of the puzzle happens right there on the QTouch 6. First, you need the app itself. Install Softpay MPOS Terminal from the Google Play Store if it's not already installed. The guide recommends enabling automatic updates for it, which is generally good advice for payment apps, keeps things secure.
Makes sense.
Then, the very first time you open the Softpay app, it'll ask for a username and password. Now, these aren't the PROD details you put in QSC. These are your specific merchant credentials. Your cash register dealer, the company you got the QUORiON system from, will provide these to you. You pop those in, and the app basically sets itself up, links to your merchant account, and that's it. It's ready to go.
So QSC handles telling the POS system how to talk to Softpay, and the app login handles connecting Softpay to your payment processing account.
You've got it. That's the division of labor. Once that's done, you should be ready to take card payments directly on the QTouch.
Okay, setup complete. Fast forward a bit. You're in the middle of a busy Saturday lunch rush. How does taking a payment, or even doing a refund, actually work with Softpay day to day? Is the workflow different for the staff?
It's actually designed to be very similar, workflow-wise, which is good for minimizing disruption. For a standard payment, the cashier rings up the sale in QMP as usual. When it's time to pay, they press the card button you configured earlier. Instead of waiting for a separate terminal, the amount instantly appears on the QTouch screen within the Softpay interface. The customer taps or inserts their card right there on the QTouch device. Softpay processes it, gets the approval, sends it back to QMP, the sale finalizes, and the receipt prints. It's all one interaction point.
So it actually sounds smoother, potentially. No passing a separate device back and forth.
Exactly. It can definitely streamline that final step. And refunds are just as simple. You process the return in QMP, which results in a negative total amount. Then you just press the same card payment button. Softpay recognizes the negative amount and automatically treats it as a refund transaction.
Okay, nice and intuitive. But, tech is tech. What happens if something goes wrong? Like the card gets declined or the internet hiccups?
Yeah, good question. If there's an error, say the card is declined by the bank or the customer cancels it on the screen, Softpay will show a clear message. Importantly, the QMP app also gets notified, usually displays an error message too, and crucially, the sale doesn't automatically close. It stays open. This gives the staff options. They can try the card again, maybe ask the customer for a different card, or just switch to taking cash to complete the sale.
That's critical, keeping the sale open. You don't want to lose the whole transaction just because of a temporary glitch. The guide mentions some specific error codes too, right? What are the common ones to look out for?
It does list a few examples. You might see something like EO6 invalid function. That usually means the Softpay license isn't active or properly configured yet. Then there are messages like E52 decline or E52 canceled, which are pretty self-explanatory. The transaction failed at the bank's end or was stopped by the user. Those aren't Softpay system errors, just transaction outcomes.
Right.
Probably the most common technical errors you might see are things like COM to PDQ failed, or just a general error EFT. 9 times out of 10, as the guide suggests, these point towards a network issue.
Ah, back to the internet connection again.
Exactly. It means either the QMP app couldn't talk to the Softpay app properly, or more likely, the Softpay app couldn't reach the main payment servers out on the internet. So the first thing to check is always, is the Wi-Fi working? Is the network cable plugged in? Maybe restart the router. Often just retrying the transaction after checking the connection works. And if not, you still have that fallback option of using cash because the sale is still open in QMP.
Okay, so while errors can happen, the system seems designed to handle them gracefully and points towards network stability being really key.
Absolutely. That stable connection, maybe with that fixed IP we talked about, is pretty fundamental for a smooth experience.
This whole deep dive really paints a clear picture. Softpay, integrated with these QORiON systems, feels like a really practical step forward for point of sale. It's not just about fancy tech. It's about genuinely simplifying things. Less hardware clutter, smoother payment flow, direct integration. And the setup, while detailed, seems logical. It's geared towards making life easier and more efficient for businesses, which ultimately benefits the staff and the customers too.
Definitely. And if you zoom out a bit, this move towards software-based payments where the app is the terminal running on existing hardware, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? It raises that bigger question. How much further will this trend go? How will it keep changing what retail spaces look like and how they operate? Think about the potential for using that same device for loyalty programs, personalized offers, better data insights, all integrated right at the point of payment. What new possibilities does that unlock?
That's a great thought. Will every counter just become one single smart screen handling everything? Something to definitely ponder next time you're tapping your card. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Softpay.